Hi, this is Praveen. In this class, let us discuss a new topic, the earthquakes. So, we will be looking at what are the earthquakes, how are these earthquakes caused, and then we will be looking at the types of seismic waves, and then we will be seeing about the seismic zones of India and the distribution of earthquakes in the world. So, first, let us start with what is an earthquake. Earthquake is the release of energy in the form of seismic waves inside the earth, which is caused due to the oscillations and the tremors. In other words, we can also define earthquakes as the forces that would be responsible for the generation of shakings on the earth's crust. So the earth's crust shakes because of these earthquakes. So in the earthquakes, we often hear some terms such as the magnitude of an earthquake, and the intensity of an earthquake. So, magnitude of an earthquake means the energy that is released in an earthquake. The intensity of an earthquake is nothing but the destruction that is caused in a specific earthquake. So, the magnitude of an earthquake is measured by an instrument that is called as the Richter scale, which is named after an American geologist, Richter, who was a geologist who works in California Institute of Technology. The intensity is measured by using a scale that is called as modified Mercalli scale, which is named after an Italian geologist, Mercalli, who has discovered this scale. So there are some values in the Richter scale from 0 to 9. So in the Richter scale, if it shows 2.5, then there is no such great damage of this earthquake. Then if it shows 4.5, it is just considered as a local damage. If it is 6, this earthquake can be considered as more dangerous in the areas with a high density population. And if we experience 7, it shows that the earthquakes can occur in the same place for almost 8 to 10 times per year. And if we experience 8 or more than 8, it shows that the earthquakes can appear once in 5 to 10 years. So, this was the important values, and also the Richter scale has shown the highest value as 9.5 in the 1961 year in the country Chile, and the earthquake that has been experienced is called as the Great Chilean Earthquake, and it is on the Andes Mountains at the southern part of Chile. So, it has shown a larger value, and also in the 2004 tsunami in the Indian Ocean, we have experienced 9 on the Richter scale. So, tsunamis are nothing but the earthquakes that can be experienced in the water bodies. And tsunami is a Japanese term which means harbor waves. So, this was about the magnitude and the intensity of the earthquakes. So, the lines joining the places with same intensity of the earthquake is called as the isosesmal lines, and the lines joining the places with the same arrival of earthquakes in terms of time is called as the isosceles lines. So these two terms we experience commonly in terms of seismology, that is the study of earthquakes. So we have looked at the introduction to the earthquakes. Now we will see about the generation and the mechanism of earthquakes. So looking at the mechanism of the earthquakes, if you consider this is a part of the earth, and the point where the earthquake waves generate is called as a focus, which is also called as hypocenter. And then the point that is vertically above the focus is called as epicenter. Epicenter is the first place to receive the earthquake waves, and then from this focus we have the generation of earthquake waves in all the directions. So this is how the earthquake waves move. Again, the waves that will be generated due to earthquake is called as the seismic waves. These seismic waves are classified under two types as the body waves Body waves means the waves, that is the seismic waves, which occur inside the earth, and the other one is the surface waves, that is the seismic waves that occur on the surface of the earth. In this body waves, they were again classified into two types as the P waves and the S waves. And the surface waves are also called as L waves. So these P waves are also called as primary waves because they were the fastest seismic waves and the first to reach the Earth's crustal region. Again, S waves are also called as secondary waves, and L waves are also called as the Rayleigh waves. Rayleigh waves, and in some other cases we call it as love waves. So coming to the P waves, they move at a speed of 6 to 7 kilometers per second. S waves move at a speed of 3.5 to 4 kilometers per second. And also the P waves move 40% faster when compared with the S waves. Under the P waves, they can be traveling through all the mediums, that is they can travel through all the layers of the earth. Coming to the S waves, they can travel only in the molten liquid states. So if you consider this as the earth, so this is the earth. So if you consider this as the earth, here we have the crust, this is the mantle, and this is the core. So I have told you surface waves that travel and move along the earth's surface, that is on the earth's crust. And in the body waves, let's see the P waves first. If you consider this as the focus and this as the epicenter, then the point that is directly opposite to the focus passing through the center of the earth is called as antipole. And from focus to antipole, we have the P waves that will be moving. Again, P waves move in all the directions like this. Some move like this. Some even move like this. And we have the deflections that can be occurred because of the change in the medium. That is, in the crust we experience the solid. In the regions of mantle we experience the molten liquid. In the regions of outer core we have the molten liquid again. In the regions of inner core we have the solid. So due to that reason we have the movement which is in the form of a deflections. And also in these seismic waves there are P waves, as I have told you. P waves, the first P wave that will be reached is at an angle of 103 degrees. So between this point, the center of the earth, and the focus, the angle is formed is 103 degrees. It is nearly equals to 103 degrees, and in most of the books it is given as 102 to 103 degrees. Again, this point experiences 143 degrees. So it is 143 degrees from this point, center of the earth, and the focus. So in between this region of the P waves, we call those regions as the shadow zones or the seismic shadow zones of the earth. So we experience shadow zones where there is a little destruction in most of the cases. So this was how these P waves move. And coming to the S waves, they travel only in the regions of mantle. So this was how the movement of P waves and the S waves takes place. So P waves are faster, whereas the surface waves are more destructive. So L waves are moving with a smaller speed, P waves with a higher speed. P waves cause a less destruction and the L waves cause a lot of destruction. So P waves, they look like this, looking like a smaller waves. The S waves looks like this, and the L waves, they look like this. So here the P waves are having a high frequency, so we have less wavelength. When it comes to the secondary waves, we have the moderate frequency, so we have moderate wavelength. Coming to the L waves, we experience less frequency, so we have high wavelength. So Here, frequency means the number of oscillations per second. So here we have many oscillations that can be taking place. Here we have the moderate, here we have the less. So due to that reason, we have high frequency, moderate frequency and less frequency respectively. The wavelength means the distance between any two crests or any two troughs. So if you consider these points as crests and this bottom points as trough, the distance between any of them is considered as wavelength. Here we can experience less wavelength. So due to that reason, we have high frequency, less wavelength, the moderate frequency, moderate wavelength, and for a less frequency we experience high wavelength. So this was about the classification of seismic waves. So this was about the seismic waves. Now let us see about the seismic zones of India. So coming to the seismic zones of India, seismic zones, we have 5 seismic zones. So we have zone 5, zone 4, zone 3, zone 2 and zone 1. So these are the zones which were there as the seismic zones of India. In the zone 5, under the zone 5, the regions of Himalayas, the northeastern part of India and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the northeast India. Under the zone 5, we also have the state of Gujarat. Coming to zone 4, we have the parts of Himalayas, the remaining part of Gujarat which has not been included in zone 5. So these two regions comes under zone 4. Coming to the zone number 3, it includes Konkan coast, the region of Rajasthan and the small parts of Tamil Nadu. Coming to the zone number 2, it includes the Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Uttarakhand. So coming to the zone number 1, we experience the regions which would be not be included in these 4 regions. So the remaining parts of India are considered as in under the seismic zone 1. So this was about the seismic zones. Now in coming to the distribution of earthquakes in the world, in the regions of circum-Pacific belt, that is near to the regions of ring of fire, Pacific ring of fire, we experience 70% of earthquakes. Approximately 65 to 70% of the earthquakes in the earth can be experienced in the circum-Pacific ring of fire. Around the Pacific Ocean, we experience some fault mountain systems such as Rockies and the Andes, and there are many mountains such as Annamite, etc. And coming to the next one, the mid-continental belt, which includes 20% of the world's total earthquakes. So the mid-continental belt, it runs from the regions of Alps near Italy to the Himalayas in India. And in this whole part, we call it as mid-continental earthquake zone, or it is also called as the Alps, the Mediterranean Himalayan belt. So this was the 2 important distributions of the earthquakes. So we have looked at the distribution of the earthquakes. So now we will be seeing about the types of earthquakes. Coming to the types of earthquakes, the earthquakes are divided based on 2 factors. One is depending upon the depth of focus from the sea level, and the second one is the causes of earthquakes, depending upon the causes that are responsible for the earthquakes. First, under the depth of the focus, the earthquakes are of 3 types. The first one is called as the shallow focus earthquakes. The shallow focus earthquakes are the earthquakes in which the focus is situated in between 0 to 60 kilometers below the sea level. Next, the second type is intermediate focus earthquakes. Which will be present where the focus is around 60 to 300 kilometers. And the third one is called as deep focus earthquakes, wherein the earthquake's focus can be found at more than 300 and less than 700 kilometers. that is from 300 to 700 kilometers. So looking at the causes that are responsible for the earthquakes, we have 5 types. The first one is tectonic earthquakes. The earthquakes which were caused due to the tectonic activities along the convergent, divergent and the transform plate margins. Mostly we experience around convergent plate margins. And the second type is volcanic earthquakes. So volcanic earthquakes means the earthquakes that were a result of the volcanism process. And the third one is reservoir induced seismicity. Reservoir induced seismicity means, let me explain this. So under reservoir induced seismicity, along the fault regions, if we experience the presence of reservoirs such as Koyana, along the Koyana-Butch fault, that is Koyana-Butch neotectonic zone, we experience the Koyana reservoir on the Koyana river, which is a tributary of river Krishna in the state of Maharashtra. And under this reservoir induced seismicity, we experience earthquakes. And in the year 1967 and 1993, in the regions of Koyana reservoir, we have experienced the earthquakes. Under the fourth one, it is collapse earthquakes, which includes the earthquakes which has resulted in the destruction of buildings. And the fifth one is called as the explosion earthquakes, that is the earthquakes that are caused due to the explosion of some chemicals such as dynamite. So the explosion earthquakes are more dangerous. And also one of the type of this explosion earthquakes is the submarine nuclear tests. So if we make submarine nuclear tests in the oceans, for example, the France has conducted a nuclear test recently in the Mayotte Islands, which was a disputed territory between the regions of Mauritius and the France. We have experienced a nuclear test that has been made by France. Due to that reason, we have the experiencing of an earthquake. Again, in the along the Murorara atoll as well, the France has conducted a nuclear test, due to which we have experienced another earthquake. So this was about the classification of the earthquakes. Now let us look how are these earthquakes caused. That is, what are the factors which influence the formation of earthquakes. So the causes of the earthquakes are classified into 2 types, as the natural causes, and the second one is man-made or anthropogenic causes. Let us begin with the natural causes. So under natural causes, the first one is volcanism, the second one is tectonics, that is the plate tectonics and the neotectonics, and the next one is isostasy. So as we have discussed in our previous class regarding isostasy, it means the mechanical stability between the uprising continents and the downwarping ocean basins. So this was isostasy. Because of the instability that we can find, we experience the earthquakes. And the next cause is called as the hotspots and the radioactive decay. So in the radioactive decay, we have some radioactive elements inside the earth, and when these radioactive elements will be heated up by the temperature of the earth, then we also experience the earthquakes. So now we have 2 sources of heat energy for the earth. The first one is this radioactive decay, and the second one is called as residual heat or primordial heat. Primordial heat means the heat energy which has been left out during the formation of the earth. So these are the 4 major causes which were considered as natural causes of earthquakes. Under the man-made causes of the earthquakes, we have the submarine nuclear tests, as we have discussed just right now, and the next one is reservoirs at the faults. Reservoir at fault, for example Koyana, which has experienced earthquake in 1967 and in 1993, and dumping of the groundwater and petroleum and crude oil. Petroleum and crude oil is also considered as one of the causes which were man-made causes of earthquakes. And the fourth and the final one is the liquefaction of the industrial wastes into the earth's crust. Sometimes the industrial wastage can be sent into the earth's crust. So these are the causes of the earthquakes. So this is how the earthquakes work. So we have completed about earthquakes. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.